Hello and welcome to the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. And you are definitely going to see the connection today. DiJonai Carrington. Yeah, that DiJonai Carrington of the Connecticut Sun. Let me just tell you, DiJonai is almost 27 years old, according to what I see on the internet. She has a birthday in January. She will be 27 years old. She's a professional basketball player. Professional basketball player, nearly 27 years old. And yet, she continues to play the victim. Her behavior in this recent incident posted on social media has you wondering, how old is she again? You said she's a professional? I got to show it to you. So let me just give you the background by going to sportskeeda.com, and it gives a little bit of background information about what went down. And then I'm going to show you the video clip that she wanted to make sure we got to see in, quote, real time. The sad thing about this, well, there are a few sad things, but one of the sad things about this is that you can tell, unless she woke up the next day and had deep regrets, but in the moment, you can tell that she thinks that she's right and she thinks that her behavior is acceptable. Let's take a look. So in the Sportskeeda article, the headline is "Go ahead and call the police." And that's a quote from DiJonai Carrington, who alleges racial hostage attempt by Uber driver in IG live video. So she went live for this. Go ahead and call the police, she said, and then made a racial thing out of this. I'll start with the first paragraph, and then I'm actually going to go down, and I want to skip to something that explains the background of it. So it says Connecticut Sun star DiJonai Carrington shared a bad experience with an Uber driver while out with a couple of friends. The 2024 WNBA Most Improved Player of the Year took to Instagram Live to discuss the situation around the individual with her fans. So let's go down, because see, this says, let's go back up. All right. This says, this said that she shared a bad experience with an Uber driver. I from what I see and from what I've read and from what I've heard, it's probably the Uber driver who had the bad experience with a nearly 27-year-old professional basketball player. So what happened that caused her to talk about race issues in this? It says here, the incident allegedly occurred when Carrington's group wanted to play music. This is in an Uber, wanted to play music, but the original driver didn't like that idea. Things eventually escalated and the trio was ejected from the first car. This could have ended the situation, but the driver still wanted to charge the ride. The group took issue with that, and the driver started threatening to call the cops on them. It's interesting how the language makes it seem that the Uber driver was just a bad guy. It escalated. Okay, again, she's 27 years old nearly. She supposedly represents the WNBA. Notice the article points out most improved player, because you represent your employer wherever you go. And here she is saying, this article is saying that they wanted to play music, but the original driver didn't like the idea. I'm going to stop sharing here for a moment. Well, it kind of works like this. Everybody has rules. Whatever the rules are in the Uber or in someone's home, you just abide by the rules. It's really simple. Why does everything have to be a battle? And why must people always feel entitled, and play the victim. Why? You're a grown woman. You get into an Uber. You're told no music. So you just wait till you get out the car and play all the music you want, or you put your headphones on, or your whatever they call them these days, right? Maybe it's not headphones, but maybe it's earbuds. You put them on, you ride in the car like a grown woman, and you listen to your music if you're fiending for music that badly. You don't have to make an issue out of everything. But apparently this was an issue. He didn't like it. He wanted to charge them. I don't know how far they rode in the car. I don't, or if he's charging them because he had to come get them. I don't know. All I know was sit down, follow the rules, get where you're going, and let it go. Act like an adult. But instead, you want to play the race card. So what I'm going to do now is show you the footage that she took. It's embarrassing. So let's take a look. Now, excuse the language.
Oh, he turned his back on me.
The scammer life is good.
Did he ruin your birthday, friend? I hope not. Woo! What'd he say? What'd he say? We can let you say. Y'all should have broke something in this sir's car. Where is he? You guys, this stuff is crazy. And I had to really expose him in real time because I don't know, honestly, I don't know why white people think they can get away with trying to just like scare black people by saying, oh, I'm going to call the police. Like, okay, and we did nothing wrong, so that's fine. Go ahead and call the police. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Live and in the flesh for you to see. He tried to kidnap us and take us. Look, oh, now he's going to talk to our next Uber driver. Let's see how this goes.
سوي لك مشاكل والله.
Hold on. He just said something in another language to the next driver. What did he say? Dummy, he don't even speak that language. He speaks Spanish. He's a dumbass because our new driver speaks Spanish. This motherfucker was trying to speak Arabic. Arabic and Spanish do not sound the same.
He's trying to leave. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, we have 10 minutes till the driver can leave.
No, I'm saying this guy's trying to get off the spot.
All right, y'all. This driver's letting us play music. So bye.
I had to just shake my head and roll my eyes because this is so grimy, so ridiculous. First of all, gotta say this. You don't know this man. Somebody tell these women you don't go following behind, talking loudly, and trying to antagonize a stranger. You have no idea who this guy is. You have no idea what his temperament is. What are you doing? That's the first thing, the safety thing. Another thing is, okay, he tried to kidnap you. Really? The guy who tried to kidnap you is the same guy you're following around with your phone and wanting to capture him on camera. This is the guy you want us to believe tried to kidnap you. And then you want to say, I don't know why white people, not sure this guy qualifies as white, not sure we can tell really that you're not, but that's a different story. I don't know why white people think they can threaten black people by calling the cops. Listen, the only one focused on your color is you. And because you're focused on it, you think everybody else is focused on it. Everybody. Yes, I said everybody. You think everybody else is focused on it. It has nothing to do with you being black. I said, don't play music in the car. It's as simple as that. And because you got, obviously, I mean, we didn't get to see the footage inside the car. So who knows what you said or what you were doing. But he says, I'm going to call the cops. Now, all of a sudden, you say it's because you're black. Like only black people ever have the cops called on them. It's not about being black. It's about being you, DiJonai. This is the issue that I have in the WNBA also. Not that this is everyone in the WNBA, although the WNBA needs to get folks under control because every job ought to have standards. But I'm not blaming this on the whole WNBA. But I am saying this. In this league, we heard it from Asia Wilson. If things don't go the way you want them to go, or if things go a certain way for someone else, it's because of privilege, and it boils your blood when you say that it's not. Or if you don't get endorsements, if you're not getting marketing opportunities, it's because you are black. You being out there had nothing to do with you being black, acting like that. It has to do with you. So when we say repeatedly that many people in this league are simply not likable, this is what we mean. Do you want to sign this woman you just saw right there to some kind of contract to represent you? Seem like only the WNBA is interested in doing that, and Unrivaled. But you want to chase him around, follow him, put the camera in his face, accuse him of kidnapping, accuse him of being a racist, and then talking about the language he's speaking as if people can't speak more than one language. I believe, DiJonai, you kind of had one might say, a privileged upbringing, although you're constantly acting like you're a victim. Seems to me you ought to know that sometimes people can speak more than one language. But this is it's just embarrassing, and it's so unnecessary. And then everything else you say about other people with privilege, and it must be a luxury not to have to take on the cares of the world and all that. You are part of the cares of the world. You are heading towards 30 years old, and you just want to hang out and play wild music. And when someone says, no, you can't do that here, you want to act like a complete fill in the blank. It baffles me. It baffles me because you're the person who then wants to play the victim. You're not entitled to do whatever you want in someone else's space. Why don't you know? Maybe that is your bringing, your upbringing, your entitled upbringing. Maybe that's why you don't get that sometimes people say no. But as you become an adult, like at 18, you start to understand, if you didn't understand it before, that sometimes it's just no. And then as you get in the workforce, you recognize that you carry yourself a certain way. You're a professional basketball player. You decide to whip out your phone, and then you say, I had to let this be known in real time because, like, for real. And you think that you're right. And here's what, this is where culture is concerned. This is where relationships are concerned. Everybody needs people in their lives who say, stop, you're wrong. But the article from Sportskeeda said, she wanted to share it with her fans. I haven't gone through and read all those comments, but I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't a whole bunch of comments that were like, you give it to them, you tell them that's right, because they think black people. And I wouldn't be surprised. You need the person in your life who's going to say, you're wrong. You're wrong. I don't know if she's listening or not. This is the same person who got upset because a journalist asked a journalistic question about whether she poked Caitlin Clark in the eye on purpose. She didn't like that accusation, but she's going to accuse this man who seems to be doing his best to just get away from her. You're going to accuse him of kidnapping and racism. And you also accused him of speaking more than one language. Thankfully, this was a man who showed some restraint, because not everybody would. And you don't know who you're dealing with. I really hope, and I've said this before, the WNBA does some gutting out. You need some kind of code of conduct. You need some kind of something. You need to be held accountable. But when you're not held accountable on your job, you don't feel like you're going to be held accountable anywhere. The situation with the eye poke, whether it was done on purpose or not, you get online afterwards, you make a joke about it with Melissa Smith, mind you. And there, I said then, I did a video, I would call her into my office as commissioner of the WNBA, Miss Kathy Engelbert. I would have a sit down. We need to have a conversation. All the social media stuff that you're doing, it's got to stop. This league pretends that it wants to grow. Then this league is going to have to make some tough decisions. But league or no league, for DiJonai's sake, I hope the nearly 27-year-old professional person will grow up. Stop playing the race card. It was just you acting like apparently you act. It's not about your race. It's not about your color. It's not about, they just think they could call the cops. We ain't do nothing wrong. Stop with the narrative. Stop with the narrative. It's you. Somebody needs to look you in the face and say, it's you. Stop playing the victim. Stop pretending that other people get where they're getting because of privilege. Many people get where they're getting or get where they got or got where they are because they didn't act like that, because they knew how to behave, how to get in a car and sit down and not have to all loud and wild and get mad if somebody says no, because they were just decent people. I pray that you can embrace that. I pray that you, DiJonai, gets it, because that could have been a bad situation right there. WNBA, do something. Do something. This is the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. Sometimes it collides. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.